As the crypto market is heating up, I'm looking at projects which have some pretty good potential that we could be very early on. And today, we've got a project I got into really early that's called Amped Finance. So I also covered this in a TikTok a little bit earlier today, but yeah. First off, let me say, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. Everything is just my own opinion and I make no guarantees to you. I also want to always have a little disclaimer for that here. But let me just say it like this. They're launching today. So if you watch this right now, they are literally coming up very, very shortly here. And the last coin that we covered that launched basically the same day or the next did do pretty well. Again, no guarantees though. But if you start looking at it, just for example, just quickly when you look at the website, you start to realize, oh, a couple of interesting buzzwords right here. So first of all, on-chain perpetuals instantly make me think of Hyperliquid and how massive their success has been. Nice little area to touch themselves in upon because there's been a lot of hype for it. Omnichain DeFi or DeFi AI, however you want to call this one. This has been the hottest topic over the past couple of months. So again, a very logical and very smart pinpointer. And as you can see, the little underline here, experience the future of on-chain trading where AI agents execute with lightning precision while amplifying your assets with leverage. But buzzwords are cool and all, but what exactly do they really actually do? Well, you could say on the one hand, trading platform, which is not necessarily that interesting to a lot of people perhaps. Maybe that doesn't excite you, those words. Well, I'd say that again, if you start comparing it in the big world, basically, this decentralized type of trading is starting to become a more and more important thing. And even though you might not be doing it yourself just quite yet, maybe you'll never get into it, I really think a lot of exchanges will eventually integrate these type of things without you noticing. But again, even if you're not going to use it, doesn't mean the underlying tech isn't quite interesting. So to start off, there's a couple of different parts. You've got the active traders part, where basically you can literally just trade. I don't know how to describe it any differently for you. You could provide liquidity and get some nice returns, some nice yield on that. They've got a DeFi or DeFi AI integration, a defining aspect of Amped's vision. They've got AI-driven liquidity management, automated trading agents, some nice things for developers, and 𝗕𝗓𝗄 partnership. For this to get this all going, they have a couple of different tokens: AMP, SAMP, ALP, and YALP. With AMP being the platform's governance and utility token, and ALP here being the liquidity provider tokens represented shares in the pool. Now, specifically about their AMP token, one of the most interesting parts is that they actually give out protocol fees. Now, for a lot of these trading platforms recently, it's been an ongoing debate about how much this should be and how much it is, right? But apparently from Amped, one of their coolest parts is hopefully the amount that goes back in terms of fee rewards to the holders. Now, in terms of all rewards, it's apparently about 70% to liquidity providers, so ALP holders receive the majority of the trading fees, and another percentage goes to people who use the platform, distributed to active users who engage with the platform, so that's also quite interesting. And now, even though you could argue they're still quite quote-unquote small, they've really been growing fast over the little while. I don't know if we should say like the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months. They've just been growing pretty nicely, already generating about $1 million in fees, $300 million in volume, and about 20,000 users. But that's the thing, they're literally launching today. They haven't even officially launched yet. And the main part of the launch will be over on MEXC. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and check it out. And again, I can make no guarantees for how well this is going to do. All I'm sharing with you is just some different interesting projects that I've found that I've gotten myself into over time. But as you guys might know, I like to buy various different crypto projects when the market's hot, just to sometimes test my luck, just to try it out. Conceptually, really, really nice, even though when I'm thinking of a lot of you guys, might not something you want to use, might not be something yet you want to use every single day. Maybe as time progresses, a lot more of y'all will get into it. I really do think so. But maybe you're really into Sonic, which is a very, very popular cryptocurrency, and you wanted to see more of their ecosystem. They are rapidly growing, so it is something interesting to watch out for. And I shared some of their key parts over on my Twitter a little bit earlier, like for example, the amount traded, the fact that some of their biggest parts are already live, but still, the better versions and the cooler parts, I guess, are still coming. And to be a bit more specific, they got their TGE on the 2 p.m. UTC time. And the funny thing with these launches, it could go either way, right? Because the project's value and how good it is not always reflected on day one. And definitely not every single time I get into it is it the greatest of launches. But the last couple of ones we have done, because the market is so hot, many of them have done really, really well, like on second one, basically. Same for Pump Fund, same for just the one we covered yesterday. Like, some of them have gone actually down pretty significantly over a bit of time because, well, if the market doesn't keep hot, like today Bitcoin is down a little bit. Sometimes you see some funny dynamics in that, but again, the point shines that very often when the market is hot, there's a lot of day one opportunities that might not still exist on day two. Because depending on how they do their IDO, these things do really sometimes well on the moment that it launches. That's why a lot of people try to snipe the exact launch the moment it hit. And even if you're not doing that, I do believe it is nice to just sometimes take a look at, hey, how did it perform? How have they done? And maybe because of that, maybe from the moment they launched it was only upwards, then you maybe start focusing a bit more on what do they actually do? Like, why do people particularly go for this coin? And you kind of go from there. But regardless, it's just, today was a little bit of a shy day. Crypto market moving down a little bit. If you wanted something else to look into, this is definitely something you can give your eyes a little look on. And I'll see you guys again somewhere later today in another crypto video.